Wilma, hello. Welcome to the Humanities Research Centre. The HRC is a place for scholarly excellence and public impact. It serves as a hub for interdisciplinary research within the ANU, across Australia and around the world. As we turn 50, the HRC is building on its esteemed past. We're looking forward with imagination, purpose, and responsibility. We're asking big questions about who we are and who we can be. We're committed to supporting scholarship and sharing knowledge on issues that matter to everyone. The HRC is all about bringing people together. We work with people in libraries, galleries, archives, and museums. And our annual themes attract world-class researchers to explore concepts such as mobilities, crisis, repair, identity, and hope. I hope that you can join us at the HRC as we celebrate and advance the humanities in contemporary life.
It's been absolutely wonderful here at the HRC. I mean, it has been a wonderful base from which to explore parts of Australia and to make friends and allies in other departments. But honestly, my favorite thing about my 6 weeks of fellowship has been hanging out right here in Canberra, hanging out here in Baldessin with my fellow HRC fellows. I've really loved the coffee mornings. I've loved the chance to grab lunch and have a conversation, go for a walk, go look at some birds. It's just been so relaxing, yet generative, productive, absolutely restoring in every possible way. And I know that I'm going to go home much the richer as a person and as a scholar.
What really resonates with me at the HRC is the commitment to research focused on promoting social justice. So the HRC is perfectly placed within the learning community that is Canberra. We're surrounded by vibrant thoughts and ideas. The HRC is really connected with the national GLAM sector, and by GLAM sector, I mean galleries, libraries, archives, and museums.
I came to HRC to do a monograph fellowship in 2022, and I've never left since. So the HRC, it reminds me why I became a researcher, to meet such brilliant researchers coming and engaging with the annual theme in their work in progress every week. And I feel inspired by other people's work, and it gives me a space to think about my own.
The HRC has been a part of my life for 2 decades, and it's a place where I know that I can get across some of the latest ideas that people are working on in the humanities. So I really enjoy that, and I enjoy the way it brings together people from around the campus, around the nation, and around the world, so that you can get access to this real breadth and depth of new thinking in the humanities.
Happy 50th, HRC. Thank you so much for bringing scholarship and community to the ANU. If I had to pick one of my favorite things about the HRC, it would have to be the Visiting Fellowship Program, because it brings scholars from across Australia and the world to Canberra. And for a number of these scholars, this is their first time to Australia. And so it's really been a pleasure to show them around the region, either through excursions into one of the many nature reserves we have, or just a shared meal. And it's being able to sort of talk in person that we can sort of connect not only over ideas, but just human experiences. And so these effervescent conversations inspire a thought, an idea, a new research direction. And I just really appreciate all the enriching experiences that HRC has brought to ANU. Thank you so much.
The weekly work in progress sessions at the HRC have been a real lifeline for me. The supportive atmosphere has made my transition much smoother and more enriching. I'm excited about continuing my journey with the HRC and contributing to its thriving community.
I see the HRC as a close friend or neighbour, as a place where I can pop in for a cup of tea, for a chat about research, for a chat about someone else's research, for support and for friendship.
When I joined the HRC in 2023, the first thing I noticed was, even though the centre was in the corner of an empty office space and there was scaffolding and everything was very dislocated, there was a great sense of community, and everyone in the HRC was coming together and sharing their work, sharing snacks, working together, and then there a sense of gratefulness. Everyone was welcome. I think that's a HRC trademark, actually. I felt a huge appreciation to also be given a slot to present on my own artistic research about the motif and idea of beautiful weeds. Being valued and offered the same opportunity to share and receive critical feedback was really special.
So I want to commend the university for supporting the HRC, especially at a time when so many universities around the world are abandoning the humanities and liberal arts. So for me, the HRC is a beacon of light on what might otherwise be a dim academic horizon.
For me, the HRC is all about community. Last year, the HRC, in collaboration with the College of Science, put on a screening of the American Sign Language film Sound of Metal at the National Film and Sound Archive with an all-deaf Australian academic panel. It was just really exciting to be able to bring in specialists from universities in Sydney, from the ANU, filmmakers and deaf cultural experts to discuss this film in Auslan.
My name is Satyendra Nandan and I'm from Fiji, and I have been associated with the HRC for the last 50 years. In 1987, after the two Fijian coups, Ian, the HRC's founding director, invited me to come to the HRC to convert my thesis into a book. On the basis of his letter, I was allowed to leave Fiji. My book, Requiem for a Rainbow, is dedicated to Ian. The HRC is my favourite space for readings, seminars and friendships.
If I think back to being a younger scholar, what the HRC represents is opportunity. It's astonishing to think that no institution in Australia can compare either for the longevity of the HRC or indeed with the effectiveness over so many years. Its support for humanities disciplines and social science disciplines has been unwavering, and I think that the opportunity is offered both to scholars outside the Australian National University with our visiting fellows programs, but also to scholars within the Australian National University.
The HRC is one of the really rare collectivities on campus that it does true interdisciplinary thought in the sense that it's collaborative and co-thinking. It's really rare to get those sort of conversations. Finding a community that can do that in a spirit of collaboration is really exciting. And HRC has done that for the last 50 years with just absolutely tremendous results.
Well, I first encountered the HRC as a PhD student more than 30 years ago, and I probably took it for granted, but in retrospect I can see just how much international recognition it had, the stellar cast of both Australian and overseas scholars who came through. What a privilege it has been to be associated with such an institution over so many years. Most major universities will have a few institutions, a few departments or centres that have almost instant international recognition, and the HRC's performed that role for the ANU over its history, and it's a really distinguished one.
Moving into its second half century, the HRC will continue to document human struggle and achievement while being a beacon of imagination and wonder.